Dealing with apologetic people is a challenge. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I really wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I'm really sorry for what I did. I don't know why I keep doing this. This is a very common trend among people whom we usually call as sorry people. Sorry people are all around us today. We need to acknowledge the fact that they are going to be around for a long time to come, and if we are going to nip it in the bud and actually help them out and move forward with the situation, we need to master these 3 tips. Today I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how you can deal with apologetic people effectively, learn exactly why they behave the way they do, and overcome the situation to not only interact better but also see results in different environments. Who are apologetic people? These are the people who always tell you that they're sorry. They tell you sorry for even the most simple things, and what happens? Ultimately, you don't even value the fact that they're trying to apologize, and the entire word loses its meaning. Today, we need to dispel this, understand exactly what is going wrong with someone who's sorry, and then help them come out of the situation, meet targets, move forward, and actually deal with situations more effectively. That's our goal for today. Keeping that in mind, whenever an apologetic person typically comes to you, they approach themselves in this way, with their shoulders shrugged down, head down, or even the message that they convey through print, or they type it out on an email or whatever it may be. It's usually in this way. It comes across like this. I just have 3 things to say. I'm sorry that we could not meet the targets this time. Actually, there was a delay in getting the resources in order to complete the project, and I take full responsibility for it. And I'm sorry that we could not deal with the situation more effectively. I do not see how we can improve the situation now, and I'm really sorry for the fact that I screwed things up. This is the typical approach of an apologetic person. They are always stuck in the past. They are stuck in that form of thinking. That's what we call the sorry cycle, where externally something may have gone wrong. There are resources that weren't available. They weren't able to contact the right person on time. And now what's happened? The external issue, which was maybe a problem that could have been resolved in itself, has now been internalized. And that internal need to be pessimistic and not see the brighter side of things, and that the possibilities that things can be corrected, they are caught up in that. And what do? They just feel more miserable on the inside. And often they leave very awkward silences. And if you don't say something, they feel even worse. So having said that, if there is someone who is getting into the sorry cycle where they are focusing on all of the wrong things, they are focusing only on the negative stuff, it is up to you to help them come out of it. Up to you to move forward with the situation, find solutions for them, or at least make them come out with the solutions themselves. Framing all of this is super important. Keeping all of that in mind, use these 3 tips to deal with apologetic people more effectively, and I promise you, you will interact better with them. Number 1, just do this very simple thing. Cut them off. Make them stop talking. And this needs to be done in a very clinical and precise way. Let's say that the issue here was they weren't able to get the resources on time. They weren't able to acquire the customers. What do you need to do? Let's say that, sir, I'm so sorry, but we could not meet the needs of the project. The resources could not be acquired on time. Okay. I understand that there was a problem and we could not meet the needs of the situation. We were not able to acquire the resources. Now, find out what needs to happen next. How do we move forward? This is something that needs to be done. This is an art in most places, and most people can't do this right. Find out when to cut them off. Once they have expressed the bare minimum, or you know that they're an apologetic person, they say sorry all the time. Once they have conveyed the bulk of the information that you need, cut them off. And then frame it in this way by following tip number 2. And what is that? Do this. Ask them by being honest. You want to ask them a question that allows them to understand the situation that is currently going on, the situation that needs to happen, the problematic situation that is your situation because of their failure, and finally, their situation. So you want to cover all these things: the current situation, your situation, and their situation. Cover all of these things by being honest. So let's say again, the same problem. I understand that there was an issue this time and we had run into a problem. There weren't enough resources or we couldn't acquire them on time. What can we do to correct the problem? Is there something that we can do? How do we overcome the limitations of the problem at hand? How can we move forward? Asking them that, and also saying that, you know what, you don't seem like the right person. Again, we want to be honest, but we don't want to hurt their feelings at the same time. So frame it in this way that, you know what, unfortunately you bungled up this time, that we weren't able to meet the targets that we had set out to achieve. Now let's do it in this way. Let us try and do this. So once you put it forth like that, I have made my decision. I am going to decide. Take control of the situation for them, so that they can actually, take a little bit less blame and start to come out of that negative frame of mind that they're in. And that comes into tip number 3. So you've cut them off, you've framed it so that you can move forward, you've been honest with them, you've told them exactly what needs to happen now moving forward. And now number 3, you need to put it all together and realize that you want to change the situation immediately. Once you have done this, change the situation. Either take a break, either you say, hey, let's come back after 10 minutes and talk about it again. Let us go out for a drink later. Let's meet up and talk about something else. What about that other project that we had to deal with? This works magically. And remember, there are some prerequisites that you need to keep in mind to put all of these 3 tips together. And they include 1, maintaining eye contact. You want to make good eye contact in the sense that you don't come off as standoffish, but you understand that person and they need to see that you are making eye contact with them. And then the next thing is to, again, make sure that they are thinking about the future. Make them lose responsibility, you take responsibility and move ahead and tell them what you think, tell them your decision. And the last one, of course, look them in the eye again. Make sure that they're okay. Often someone who is apologetic, they feel humiliated, they don't know, because they've opened themselves up. Someone who is always saying sorry all the time is always opening themselves up and looking bad in front of the people that they express in front of. These are the people who usually come out and they look miserable for all intensive purposes. So it's your job to, again, after all of this is done, you want them to feel more responsible, in the sense that you need to give them the confidence that, hey, I know we have messed up this time. Let's try and fix the situation. So again, put all of the 3 tips into practice. Number 1, cut them off, move forward, be honest with them, tell them what they need to know. And lastly, always change the topic as soon as possible so that they can be cut off, and then later on, when the time comes, build their confidence. Remember to use all of these tips. They do work. Apologetic people going to be there all the time. This is usually with subordinates, and when you're dealing with multiple clients or you're dealing with students, you need to be aware of all of these things. So be more emotionally intelligent, interact with people better, and use all of these tips. If you want to learn more about dealing with different kinds of people, different spectrum of people that we have to deal with on a daily basis, then hit the I button or go check out the description box below. Watch the video that I'm going to share with you after this video so that all of this stuff becomes clear. We buy from other people, and if we want to interact better, we need to understand how people think and how to deal with them in different situations. So keeping all of that in mind, watch that video. If you found this one useful, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below, tell me what you learned, what do you want to see in future videos. I am dedicated to making you the best version of yourself and having you perform like a champion in every single area of your life. Looking for all of that. You want to get better and you want to become a better person. Hit the subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, and watch all of my videos. You don't want to miss anything coming out of this channel because it's super powerful stuff that is grounded in psychology, grounded in science, and I'm going to bring it to you. This is Vikram signing off, and I will see you in the next session.